Slapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
All right, y'all. We are back. Here we are. This is Hessey. This is Vinny. I'm Hessey. This is Vinny. And then we got us a guest today, my man Braxton. He is from Utah, so Vinny knows him. So we are bringing our first guest on, episode 22. So we're ready to go, boys. This is gonna be a hot episode here. I'm stoked.
I got my camel on for it. I'm ready to go. Braxton's got his bear in the back. He's excited. I think Braxton's one of our first long-time listeners. I think he's listened to every episode.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, here it is. So then we decided to drag him on here. So, all right. Well, then, like we normally do, let's hear about your week, Vinny, and then we'll hear about yours too, Braxton. See what you got going on, but how the week went and kind of how things are going.
Yeah, we just had a normal work week. It was nice and warm this week. I think it finally hit close to 100 degrees and stuff. As you can see behind me, I got another project done for another coworker, and I epoxied this flag of his, put the bass on there, got 2 layers of epoxy on there and stuff like that, so I'm hanging it for today. I'll probably drop that off at his house later this afternoon, but he's going to turn it into a table. So got one project done, I guess, so we're good to go there. We did do
like a coffee table, like it's got so you put legs on it or what?
It doesn't have legs on it right now. He's going to have somebody build some legs for it, so I told him if you wanted to be straight and flat, I probably shouldn't build any of the legs, because
no, or there'll only be 3 of them.
If I measure twice,
it'll be about 80%, 75% of them.
That's done. Yeah, it'll be done. But as Braxton, he's a fellow coworker here. We did a little practice strike at UPS. They came down and gave us some information on that and whatnot. So, from what we understand, it's going good. Like they're really saying that there might not be one, so it's sounding pretty good. We'll see what happens in the next couple weeks, but we got a little bit more information down here in our little center, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah,
I
like the old shirts. The pay up shirts are pretty cool.
Yeah, it says pay up instead of pay it.
Yeah. All right, Braxton, let's hear about yours, bro. What's your anything exciting go on in your week, or how's it going?
Yeah, like Vinny said, we're protesting. I have a sweet pic of him holding the sign. So, and by the way, I'm not in his closet, so I just want to make that clear from the last episode. So,
just so everybody knows, Braxton is not in the coom closet. So he's got, because that poor bear, I don't know, would ever be the same if it was in there. Yeah. And then Vinny, I don't know. I didn't know, Vinny, are you a adamant fisherman or what's going on? You got that? What kind of fish is that?
Mine. That's from my dude.
What kind of fish is that?
It's a bass. I know it's a bass.
Braxton probably knows what it is.
Yeah. Braxton knows what it is. Yeah, no, that's an actual picture. He had it taken over to a shirt shop, and they put it on a iron-on. So that's a actual picture of a bass that he caught coming out of the water. They transposed it onto the iron-on deal, and then I put it on this. So
nice.
That's how that turned out.
Yeah. So after the protest thing, Saturday, we went bear hunting, and we ended up catching a bear, and it was in this thick pine tree. And so my brothers were like, hey, you better climb up there to see what it is. So I got up there, and it was probably about 5 feet away from me, and it started like bluffing me, like trying to come down. I'm like, jeez! I'm like, get me out of here!
Why would you climb up a tree after a bear?
Wait, so that was like, you mean you went like yesterday?
Yeah, so Saturday.
So bear hunting's going right now?
Yeah, so it's called like the summer pursuit. So we're just chasing them with our dogs. No killing, no nothing.
I got you.
So
all right. So well then while we're rolling into that, let's talk about we'll get going with you, Braxton. Like, let's talk about let's just hear kind of like you where you grew up, how old you are now, kind of like where you started into just for kind of, I mean, not like when you're like a little tiny baby and like little baby Jesus type thing, but you can go to Fred wherever you want to start, but just kind of like where you grew up. Kind of let's hear a little bit about yourself, kind of introduce yourself and stuff like that. Hold on one sec before you start that. I'll edit this out. I gotta run and hit this smoker thing. Tasha just texted me. I can edit this, so just give me 5 minutes, and then or a couple minutes, when we come back, we'll start writing you Braxton. That way I can cut it.
Are those pajama pants? What are you wearing?
Dude, these are my lounging drawers, bro.
Oh, flamingos, really? Shoo!
We don't have
You guys
a here.
You don't like my drawers, dude? Those are my lounging shorts, bro.
Flamingos,
dude. And they're the air. They're like the floater ones, like they're little floating ones. Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right,
Take
ready?
2.
Here we go.
All right. Go ahead, Braxton. You
where
start
are you
into your
from?
story.
So I'm from Central Utah, Salina to be exact, but now I live in Redmond, which is like 2 minutes north. If you ever heard of Redmond Minerals salt mine, yeah, I'm down the road from that. So, and I'm married and have one boy, and just grew up hunting, fishing, and living the small town life. So
How old are you now, Braxton?
So I'm 25.
25. How old's your kid?
He's 10 months.
10 months. Oh, you got a little one, little itty bitty.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
No
Yeah.
sleep. So, yeah.
No sleep.
Yeah.
10 months. You should be sleeping all night now.
Well, he's born premature, so they had him in the NICU for 27 days. So, yeah, he got used to waking up every couple hours to get fed. So, yeah, we're living the life every few hours. And
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what year did you graduate then?
16.
Oh, my gosh.
Everyone
Just
needs
a
a pup.
pup, dude. Just a
Just a
pup.
pup, bro. Oh, that's nuts, man.
Dude, he's old. I'm old enough to be his dad.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. Are you?
Megan's 24.
Oh my gosh, dude, you are old, bro. Not me. That's not me.
I think he ran around with her when they were in high school. I think they were friends. I think the group of them
Probably.
were friends.
You'd be glad they probably didn't date.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would've
way
been
glad
weird.
we didn't date.
That'd be
I know.
weird. Then we start digging in on them stories. That'd be bad news, bro. So you live in Utah your whole life?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't adventure far. So.
No.
You were in Salina, and then after you graduated there, you went on to college. And how far
Yeah.
away was college for you?
So I went to Snow College in Ephraim, and I got my associate's degree up there, and then I started. So they do like a extended program through Snow, and I started on the bachelor's program, and I was trying to weigh out my options, and I said either Redmond Minerals I was gonna work, or UPS, or if I was gonna go into marketing, and that's what I was going to school for, and I said whatever one comes first. So I started working. I worked nights part-time at UPS and done that life, and I was doing that for my first couple of years, and then I graduated and decided the marriage life was for me. And so I would go to school from 6 o'clock in the morning to noon, and then I'd drive back to Redmond from Ephraim and work from like whenever I got back from like 12:30 to 4:35, and then I'd go to UPS from 5:30 to 8, and then do homework all night and restart. So, and I bought my
Good
house doing all that. So, yeah, it's pretty wild.
Married.
Burning
You got
the
married
candle
and
on
bought a
both
house,
ends,
didn't you?
huh?
Yeah. So then I graduated, and they told me, they said UPS called me the day after. So I graduated that Friday, and UPS called me that Monday. Said, hey, do you want to become a driver? And after talking to all the guys, I'm like seeing all the insurance and stuff laid out in front of me. I'm like, God, I gotta try. I gotta try it. And yeah, here I am.
There it is, freaking UPS. So
yeah.
you didn't talk to any of the drivers, and they didn't try to talk you out of it?
Well, they just told me how good it was, and I never looked at the bad. And now here I am, stuck.
Yeah, they just lied to you. They honey-dicked you into it.
Yeah, literally.
was.
It's so good.
It was a little better then. I mean, we got to load trucks and whatnot. At least, we weren't going in at 10 o'clock in the morning. And he knows all about UPS. His grandma's been there for 100 years.
Yeah, literally.
Well, your grandma works at UPS?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 72 and still working. So when you get your Pier 80, you can retire, and she's working on like Pier 100. So
jeez,
that's like your age and amount of service.
She's
whatever.
Going for two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them. So then, so you have what kind of siblings you got?
So I got three brothers, and they're all younger than me. My one brother's 24, then 22, and then a junior in high school. So they're all just a bunch of pups, but they're wild, so keep me on my toes. And they're getting big enough that they can almost beat me. So I gotta keep them. I keep them in check. Yeah, I keep them in check.
You just gotta be meaner.
I don't have that option anymore. That was a long time ago. It was over.
Yeah.
But on this podcast, we like to talk about stuff that we talk about stuff we did when we were kids, just like some dumb stuff that a lot of kids just don't do anymore. We talk about like making bicycle ramps and jumping them, and one time Sean jumped a bicycle ramp, thought it was all cool, and went head over heels and raspberried his whole side. And we're like, oh, I had a baby at the time, so I was like, oh, hey, I'll get you a wipe. We'll put a wipe on it and all that. Remember that wipe? It had like
I think it was a spray. I thought. Yeah, don't make it sound like him and his buddies are sitting there and they're building this ramp. They're like, try this. No, try this. Oh, do it this way. This will make it look cooler. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. Try it. And then, I went head over a tea kettle and just raped my back. But no, I thought you hit it with a spray or something.
Maybe we did some of that.
I don't know. It was a spray or a wipe, and I thought I freaking pissed my pants.
It was hot.
Because it was on fire, and that was because it had alcohol in it. Yeah, it had alcohol. He's like, I'm like, dude, it's burning, and I'm freaking out. And he's like, dude, it's just baby, it's for the baby stuff or whatever. And I was like, what? And then somebody was like, oh,
then we read the
that's got alcohol in it. And I was just like, oh, dear Lord. He's just rubbing alcohol on open wounds or spraying it. I don't remember. So anyways, you got brothers. Let's hear it.
Good stories.
Yeah, I got some pretty good stories. But
you just sent us a picture today that we're not going to be able to post on here. You sent me a picture.
I'll post it. Oh, yeah, on the pictures, before we go, those pictures and videos that you sent me, we're okay to use them. We'll throw them on in this episode?
Yeah, you're
All
good.
Right, cool. Right on.
I don't know if YouTube will let that one picture go on there, Daryl.
I don't know. Why not?
So you sent me a picture of your leg. Is that your leg in the picture?
Yeah,
and it was from the knee down.
Yeah, right underneath the knee, and it went to like almost my ankle.
And how did you achieve this? What was that? 2-inch freaking.
So what happened was.
So right here, just tell us the story of this golf cart thing, and then I'll for everybody that's watching, I'm gonna post it, and I'll put a picture up right here. So hopefully, if they allow it on here, we're gonna give it a whirl. So I'll put it. I'll dub it in right here when you're telling us the story.
All right,
go ahead.
All right. So what happened was, I think I was probably, I don't even know, 7th, 8th grade. I don't even know how old that is. But my buddy and I were like, his grandma had a golf cart, and they're like, because they do a big celebration for the 24th of July, and we're like, God, we need something for the parade. So we went down there and got the grandma's golf cart. We brought it back to his house, and we're like finding stuff to decorate it and everything. Got it all pimped out, and like, oh, here we go. So we drove it up to the top of Maine and Redmond and went through the parade and coming back, and like, oh, let's take this for a ride. So we went above town, and up, if anyone knows, above Redmond, it's like where all the motorcycles and all the rebels go and hang out, and jump bikes and whatever, cars, freaking motorcycles, everything. So they have all these. Yeah, it's like a racetrack up there. So we went up there with this golf cart, and we had to push it up the hill to make it to the top, and then we got it up to the top, and well, there was 3 of us on the back, and then there's 3 of us sitting on the seat, and we started going down them hills, and it's like whoop-de-doos going down there. We're just jumping it, and my buddy's hitting the brake. I'm like, don't hit the brake. Like, why are you hitting the brake? And so we're just, whoa, one after another going down, and we get down to the main road, and we're like fishtailing it one way, fishtailing it the other way, and for some reason, like, I guess I wasn't holding on tight enough, and I fell off and started tumbling down the road, and my buddies come running up to me, and I thought I just got like road rash. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool, you know. I'm like, I go to wipe off my legs, and I see a little blood, and my buddy's like, do not look at your leg. I'm like, why?
You wearing shorts?
Yeah, I was wearing shorts,
Oh.
and I looked up, and I had like squirters, just like blood squirters,
Good grief.
everywhere. And it was weird because I could see the white bone going down my leg, and I'm like, oh boy. Oh
So
boy.
did your leg catch on something on the golf cart and slice it open as you fell off?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what caught it, but it was like a clean cut, and then it just like basically blew my calf off my bone, more or less. And
So you think
got
it
it
was
on.
a cut, or do you think it was something snagged it and tore it?
yeah, I think it just snagged. I think it might have, like, on those back of those golf carts where they tie in the clubs or whatever. I think
Yeah.
something along the edge of that caught it or something. I'm not exactly sure what caught it, but
It's
yeah,
a
it was
deep
not
cut.
good.
It's a deep, long cut. Like you
That's what I
you
mean, man.
flayed
Tore
that
it
wide.
across
Yes.
there.
So it's kind of funny. My one calf muscle is a hair bit smaller than my other one now because it didn't repair all the way. But oh well. But
No, that's
Couple
that's pretty crazy, dude. That's
Yeah.
one. And then you had some other stuff on there, like you were hunting with your brothers and stuff like that.
yeah. So so do you want? Okay. So another story. When I was younger, we used to do a bunch of slingshots. Me and my brother, we all had slingshots, and we're out slingshotting birds and stuff and everything. And my neighbor, the mailman, would always come at the same time every day. It's about like 12:15 on the dot. And so I'm like, I'm gonna shoot the mailman. So
Shoot him or shoot the truck?
well, whatever I could. I had enough rocks in my pocket. Whatever got flung. So what we're shooting.
How old were you? How old? Same age?
Yeah, roughly about the same age.
Is this
and-
before you tore your leg open or after?
Yeah, yeah. This was before.
Okay.
This was beforehand. So yeah, we were. I had this. My neighbor had this big tree, and I'd hide behind it. And the mailman would come up to the door and put it in the mailbox and walk back. And I don't know. I can't remember if I flung a couple of rocks at the mailman, but I'm like, oh man, that mail truck's big. I'm like, I could hit that thing, and I put that slingshot back and shot the side of that mail truck, and ding off the side. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. And the mailman jumps out because he thought he had hit something, and I'm standing there with that slingshot, and he grabbed me by the back of my neck. Oh man, he chased me home, and I was like pissing my pants. My mom opens the door, just gave me the holy hell. But yeah,
And now you are.
Now you're
UPS
that guy.
And now I am that guy. Yeah.
Good thing slingshots. Good thing slingshots aren't such a big thing now, huh? You'll be getting slung back. Mel, you might. Who knows? You might get one now after this one. Somebody's gonna listen to the episode and start slingshotting UPS trucks, not knowing which one, but they'll shoot.
Snowballs. We do get a lot of snowballs thrown at the truck.
Yep.
I think we had a driver back in the day when I first started. They had a rock in the snowball and they threw it, and it cracked and busted the windshield on his truck.
Was it like on purpose, or you think it was just like they were scooping off the ground? Hopefully, huh? Just scooping and got it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the driver has to talk to the kids, be like, hey, like, I don't care if you throw snowballs, throw them at the back of the truck, don't throw them at the windows. Like, most drivers are cool, but slingshots and rocks, that's a little different story. You get a little dangerous.
That's that small town stuff, too, because you imagine, like, the postal guy just by trying to snag you and, like, grabbing you by the neck. Dude, that small town, like in a big town, they probably would have he'd probably been fired, dude.
Yeah.
Would have candy and been like child abuse or something. So then, and I think that's like what we were talking about. We've talked about them before on the podcast. It's a bummer because there's a lot of kids that don't get to. I'm not saying that it's great that you should be slingshotting postal people, but to experience that stuff, you know what I mean, like. Taking a slingshot. Some kids probably don't even know what slingshots are, wrist rockets, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, well, the thing is in these small towns, you don't have, like, bowling alleys or movie theaters. I mean, you don't got nothing, so you got to create your own fun. So
you don't have a mall to go hang out at. And
get you a little pellet gun or 22 or something.
For sure.
You probably got those. We used to use those as a kid.
Yeah, well, we had pellet guns, but we hung out with those freaking blow darts for a long time.
Dude, I love those things. You ever have a blow dart, Braxton? Them blow guns and little.
The only blow gun experience I got was
Don't say marshmallow.
No. No. My buddy got one I can't remember for Christmas or birthday, but they were in the living room in his parents' house, and he tried it out and, like, thumped him right in the back, and it left a big old welt. But I was just there, and I was just hiding because I didn't want to be the one getting shot. But
was he shooting the darts, or was he shooting those little balls?
The little balls.
Yeah.
But they hurt, man, and they fly.
Oh yeah, I remember
quick.
they came out with the little paintball ones that you could.
They did have the paintball
ones. A little
ones
clicker, and you would drop a paintball and you could blow them. We used to shoot the darts though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a little more pop. That came out before they started doing the airsoft stuff. Those airsoft guns came out with kind of the airsoft blow dart. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, so you were talking to me about doing a podcast after you listened to us because you're doing a little side business where you're building, is it pedestals for taxidermies or taxidermy? What are they called?
And yeah, they're just called pedestals.
And you build them out of old barnwood.
Yeah, old barnwood, or just like half-finished. Like, so some of them are like half-finished wood, and then you put like trim barnwood on it, or you can do like a full barnwood pedestal. I guess it's just for full body mounts or shoulder mounts for deer and elk.
You have to go around and gather this stuff up, or do you just have it sitting in your backyard?
Well, I found a lady up north, and she's one of those guys that just is kind of like a hoarder type person and just goes around and hunts this stuff down.
One of those. We can probably find you a whole bunch of barnwood out of the farm.
Yeah. So these guys just go hunting it, and then I just go up there and go through what they got, and she sells it to a bunch of people, but for like barnwood walls or furniture, little wood pieces, and just odd and end things. And yeah, so I just buy it from her and bring it down and whatever I want, and people just call or whatever and message me. And I never, in Utah, it's so hard to get a dang tag, so obviously I can't use them all for myself, so I just hit up some taxidermists or local people, and they just asked me to build something, and I just knock it out for them and create
So-
something cool.
Yeah, so that's rad, dude. So for listeners, because we do have some overseas and stuff like that, in case you guys aren't familiar or you don't want to look it up or whatever, when we're talking about taxidermies with mounts and stuff, so he has, you can see in the background, if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not, hop on YouTube and take a look, subscribe, get in on there, and you can check it out. But he's got a bear hanging there behind him. And so when we talk about mounts and taxidermy, so these guys, or people, persons, whatever you want to call them, go and they hunt. They get these animals. Some of them are big, nice, beautiful. Some are small. Some are just sentimental, whatever it may be. And the taxidermy takes the pelt off of them or hide, and then recovers them on like a styrofoam piece and makes them basically look like they naturally look like in the wild, or back to their normal state. So when we're talking about taxiderming and mounting, that's what it is. You're taking the animal and putting it back stuffed, basically, and people put them in their trophy rooms or living rooms or whatever have you. And so Braxton makes the stands and stuff and helps to elaborate and make these things, these beautiful works of art.
Yeah, it brings it back to life more sense.
Yeah.
And then while you were doing that, you started talking to some taxidermist guys that kind of came up with a little idea of people that you would want to talk to on your podcast, because they were telling you stories of situations where they were a little fearful for their life, maybe, or they felt like you got a close call on there. You did send us a video of one that you did. How many years ago was this little bear hunt that you went on, that you sent us?
So, well, I think that video I sent you was probably a couple years ago, I think. So I think that spring we killed 3 bears, and that was one of them.
Oh,
All right, so talk us through this story on this video that you sent us. Because it
Yeah,
looks
so
like
on that one,
enormous
yeah,
day.
so with this one too, is this the video that Vinny you shared with me?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
So Braxton, we will do this again, because since we have that picture of his leg that hopefully works out. This one I'm pretty sure will stay on there, because there's not really like the camera guy. We got to get with your camera guy and be like, look, if you're gonna commit, you got to commit, bro. Like, get behind a tree and you got to hold steady, bro. We need some legit footage here. Like, he looked more scared than the rest of you, and it seemed like he was the furthest away. I don't know who your camera guy was, so I hate to bag on him, but I can only imagine. I mean, it was intense. So when you guys watch this video, and I'll stub it in right here, because he'll be talking about it, and it's just a short clip, and we'll drop it in there. But the camera's all over, but you'll kind of get the gist of what's happening for sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead, let's hear it.
So right here, before the video gets started, I want, like Vinny said, I wanted to kind of create a podcast to not only like just to hear other people's stories. If anyone else has something cool, I mean, everyone has a hunting story at some point in their life, whether it's killing birds or whatever. And I just want to start something where because I get on podcasts and listen to them, like, oh, I just want the hunting story part. So like I told Vinny, I'm like, I'm gonna create one where it's just gonna be straight stories and talking kind of like what we are today about our lives and whatever, and hunting and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Good.
so
Get
yeah,
that going. We'll put it out there and let people know they can come and listen to it.
yeah. So anyways,
That's right.
to this video that we're about to watch, what happened was we rigged this bear and we ran it for miles, and we finally got it caught, and it ended up going in it was like I guess you'd consider it a den, and we all got in there. There's a bunch of us, and a pile of us. We all get in there, and this bear's in the back of this den, and you can't really, I mean, you can see it, but not really in the front of the den. So usually on the back of them dens, they have like a breather or something so they don't suffocate themselves. and I went around the back of the den, and there was a little. It wasn't very big. It was probably 8 inches maybe, and I stuck my my light down in there, and all you could see was the bear's nose. Like the nose of the bear was like trying to breathe out of it, and so I'm like, I yell at the boys. I'm like, hey guys, it's right here. So they all come running up. They're like, is it big? I'm like, God, it looks like a dandy. So they all come. They're the professionals, you know. So they get
all you can see is his nose, and you're like, oh yeah, he works here.
Look at the size of the snout on that thing. It's
yeah,
huge.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, the head on it's big. I can't really tell. And they get over there, like, all the experts. They're like, all my brothers and everyone. They're like, oh yeah, that's a nice one. So the guy literally just put the gun barrel in there, and like this, like it misses the first part on the video, but he shoots, and then all of us. Yeah, through the breather hole, and then he runs around to the front, and then the video plays out, and he just gets down and boom, shoots, and it's coming out of the den, and it's like point blank, just boom, boom, like just like point blank range, and it like almost takes him out, and all of us scatter. Like, what is he? Shit.
Like I looked at that gun, I watched the video again today, and I was like, I mean, like, you shouldn't shoot a bear with a 22. Like,
it was a 30-30 lever action at point blank range, and it was a big bore, and it was just eating it.
When that bear comes out and what's he grab? The bag? Is that your like one of your packs or something? The
so
first
what
thing
happens?
He grabs?
Yeah, I think so. It goes to like jump on something, and it rolls, and then it jumps on a pile. So we had all the dogs tied up, obviously, and it piled on the dogs. And my buddy from Colorado goes running down there, because that was his dogs, and starts kicking the bear in the head, still wounded.
Are you still shooting it at this time?
No, not when it's on the dog.
Now it's last Mohicans going on here now, bro.
Yeah, so it's on the dogs, and he's like, that's my dogs, and he's just boom, boom, kicking it in the head. And I'm like standing there like stunned. I'm like, holy shit, this is happening. Yeah. And then it rolls off, and then we all just run down there and take out our pistols and basically finish it off. But
was there a dude? So the guy that was kicking at the very end of the video, they're like the two dogs there. It looks like there's somebody. That must be the dude. Like I think he's wearing like a black shirt or something. Is that when he's kicking the dog or kicking
it in the head?
It's not. So it's not grab. It looks like that bear's got a hold of him, but it must be like laying on a dog while he's kicking it or something.
Yeah, there's like a girl. I believe there was a girl in the back that was standing by the dogs, and which was his wife. And then when it went on the dogs, it kind of rolled off. He ran down there, and I think the girl was standing there trying to pull it off, then just like let go and said like hell with it, you know, like I'm getting out of here before it gets me, type of deal. But
it was a big black bear, dude. It was good size.
Yeah, that was just one video. There's a bunch of times where we have to climb in dens and stuff to see what they are. Or,
I don't know.
You know,
like I don't know that you have to. I feel like that's maybe not. I feel like there's modern technology. Like you could just send a camera in. Like they got them on ropes and stuff now, or wires. Like white.
Taking selfies with a selfie stick. Stick a selfie stick.
He's like, we got to climb in a den. No, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you have to do that, dude. That seems sketch.
Yeah, you gotta. Like I said, you gotta go in deep, where you gotta climb the tree to see what it is. You know, you can't have a good picture without getting close.
So you sent me a picture after that video. Your brother's sitting on a rock above a bear. That's not the same bear that was in the video.
Yeah, that's a different time. But
was that bear already injured?
Nope. It was. We just had caught it out on a rock cropping.
Is that what, like, we're going to have to get shirts made? It says you got to get close to have proof, or what?
Yeah, literally.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah. Hit him with those.
Oh, gosh, dude. I mean, there's proof. I just feel, who was videoing? Who made that video?
So that was actually my buddy that works for UPS as well. His name's Colton.
That's Colton.
You can hear. Yeah, he starts squealing like a little girl, but I think we all were squealing like little girls, so...
Now, we do have a story about Colton, too, that I know of. I wasn't there. You were there for that one, and you guys were doing were you just running dogs kind of like you just did yesterday for that?
Yeah, so
right?
it happened about this same time of year. Like I wasn't actually there with them when Colton got bit, more or less. But what happened was they caught this bear and caught it on the ground. And
When you guys go out and do this kind of stuff right now, are you just training the dogs, kind of like teaching them how to do this kind of stuff, or are you just, I mean, it's just giving them practice? Is that what it's giving these
Yeah.
dogs practice
Yeah,
on
train
hunting
them
down?
up.
Yeah,
Training
so
pups
let's
and
go
stuff.
that part, because once again, here we are. Like, we do have overseas people, and we also have like just city people that listen too, that are just like, wait, what are they talking about dogs? They're probably thinking it's like a Shih Tzu or something. They're like,
And I don't know.
they're like, oh wait, they're just taking some Shih Tzus out there or what? Getting some Chihuahua cross, like letting these things go. But no, they're hounds. So let's not to get off. We're still going to stay on the same subject, because we'll come into this other bear story with Colton, or like the one dude that's another picture we'll put in there is where he's sitting, a video actually, he's sitting above this bear, and it's like rooting around doing whatever. But so like hound dogs is what we're talking about. So let's kind of educate those that do know, can get more educated. The ones that don't know will at least get an idea what we're kind of talking about here.
Okay. So basically, hounds are, you can use them you just train them more or less. To some people in the East use them for hunting deer or hunting pig. There are a lot of guys that use them for hunting pigs in Texas area, and like we use them for mountain lions and bear mainly. And then usually when you start out, you train them on coons, I guess you would say, right? Coons. And yeah, so my brother,
What's the breed? So what kind? There's like, I know there's different hound dogs. Like, what do these hounds call them?
So there's
like blue tick hounds. You know, people know that because of country songs. But
yeah, yeah. So there's like blue ticks, walkers, plots, black and tans.
And that's what you're using.
Yeah. So we have we have some high tan, black and tan dogs and blue dogs.
And these are your
walkers.
dogs?
Yeah. So technically they're like my brothers and Colin's. It's like my hat. It's M&C hounds. So we basically just share them more or less. And so my two brothers, Bridger and Brennan, and then Colton, and we got 11 dogs, 11 hounds.
So you guys,
I think now.
You guys breed them and sell them, and raise and sell them?
No, we don't really breed them, just because we're always hunting. So yeah. So
okay. So what's the hat? What's the hat? What is it again?
So it's M&C hounds.
M-N-C.
Yeah, M&C hounds.
Like or an N?
Like an at sign, like M-N.
Oh, okay.
Sign C hounds.
M-N-C.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you guys, there's you. If you guys need some hound dogs, these guys.
Like
if
I wanted to go hunt lion and I wasn't from here, I could call you guys up and say, hey, I need some lions, or I need some dogs for some lions, and my hunt's from this to this, and I'd pay you guys to.
Yeah, so it's basically just like a guide, and you just buy a tag, or because now it's over-the-counter tags in Utah, so you just, you just basically.
So that's your company right there, is M&C
Hounds. Yeah,
like right. I'll put it in. I'll have it in the. I'll drop it in the description too, so I'll have him send that to me, and we'll put it in the description. It's like that. It's like Step Brothers, where you're like, are you saying Pan? Can I help you out with that? So I'm not sure still what the lettering is there, because it's blurry. I know there's an and a C, but we'll drop it in the subscription. And I don't know this if you guys, if this is what you do, because if there's some people coming into town or whatever, like even for me, I'll be rad. I'd give you guys some cash and we'd go chase some stuff, even if we didn't shoot nothing. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, just chasing bears, just a tree of bear, I think would be pretty fun.
So we'll drop that in there for you guys so you guys can look at in the subscription and see what the actual name of it is, if you guys want to go to Utah and hit Braxton and his brothers and friends up, and they'll get you close enough to have proof.
Yeah, there you go.
That might be something you got to throw in when they pay you. You're like, yeah, you get the dogs, but you also got to pay a $15 shirt fee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There you
so you because like a lot of people, you think like bloodhounds and stuff like that, but these hounds, these things love to do it. I've watched them before, and I've seen those kind of dogs. I mean, they love to work. They just get amped up, and just me watching the dogs do it get amped up. I get amped up watching the dogs because they get amped up. So that's just everybody's amped up.
So do you give them like a bear pelt and lion pelt or like a raccoon pelt to like start training them when they're pups just to kind of get them so they know what they're smelling for? Or do they just kind of automatically know they're chasing some type of animal?
Yeah, so usually when they're pups, we start them out on like, I don't know if I should say this, but a house cat or raccoons. And you just
More
let
like,
them bark
they
at
probably
it.
put them out on wild, like feral cats. We call them
Yeah,
feral
cats.
cats.
Yeah, feral cats. There you go. Barn cats, barn cougars, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we just start them out on them, and then get them trained up a little bit until they're old enough to start running. And we have a big enough pack now, so once they get big, they just kind of follow until they catch the ropes of what they're supposed to be doing, and then they just we catch enough games, so hopefully they just just kind of figure it out on their own. If they don't,
so you don't give them a bear pelt. You're not like rubbing this bear pelt in their face so they can kind of smell it. You just have like an older dog that kind of knows already it's chasing a bear, but so then the other dogs just follow that alpha dog.
Yeah, just kind of follow it out, and then once they get on a few, they just kind of catch on, and you get them to a tree and kind of coax them up the tree, like start tapping the tree, and those pups are like, oh yeah, this is what we want to do. Like this is what they're wanting us to do,
Is bark
Because but it's like because it's in the so they're like bird dogs and stuff. It's genetic. Like they're genetically,
sure.
They have that. It's basically what they're bred and built to do. Like they have that instinctual thing is to nose down, smell it out, and then get after it.
But that's the thing, though. It's kind of a bird dog is smart and a hound is dumb. So
yeah. Well, they're
hound dog is like
a hound dog, I feel like, is instinctual. They're like their instinct is their instinct kicks in. They're like, I have a dog, dude. I have this dog. He's a Mastie Pit, so he's Mastiff and Pit. He has zero preservation for himself. It's like once that instinct kicks in, he doesn't care. Yeah, he's dumb. Like he doesn't. There's nothing else but what that one thing that clicked in his mind is to do. So I feel like when I've been out with hound dogs before, that's it. Like they're out there doing their thing, nose down, and as soon as that hits, instinct kicks in, and that's all that's left is they just go. What are those like what do they call it? Premortal? No, what is it? I don't know.
Primitive?
Whatever. Primitive. They go straight primitive, dude. Just like what their genetics tell them to do is smell the ground and find whatever that is that smells, and they'll go days, right? I mean, have you ever lost any up there?
So sometimes, like, obviously when they're training, like when we're training them, like if, like, once we're done, if they don't come back, sometimes we'll just leave a coat and wait for them to come back the next day, and eventually they're like, okay, well, they want me to come back, so then they start listening, and finally they just catch on. But yeah, like as far as
so you say
like,
leave a coat so it'll come and lay back down on a jacket.
They'll come back to the jacket, so they know that you're going to be coming back for them more sense. Some people leave dog food or something, but
I got you.
So
yeah,
like
usually
if
they just
bear and say, I don't know, a deer goes running through their path or a jackrabbit. I mean, they're not like squirrel and they take off. They'll stick with the bear.
So when we're building a pack, you have a lot of them chases when you're chasing stuff you don't want to, and then you finally get them broke off of it. Like if they're chasing deer or something. So like when you're chasing deer, you just break them off of it. You basically shock them or whatever. And,
Okay.
And then like, oh yeah, that's not what we're chasing. And then the old dogs, our older dogs know now, like they're all just broke off of it. So now all the young dogs, I guess in a sense, just learn
That's cool.
by trial.
So,
I guess.
so now we got them all learned up, and we got the dumb ones weeded out, probably left up in the mountains or whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
or they're now
Take
house,
these dogs out.
or they're now house animals. You know what I mean? Like, cause I know, dude, I've had labs where I'm like, bro, if you don't get on these, start to do some bird hunting, I'm not. You're about to end up at somebody
There's that
else's
saying
house.
There's that saying they said there's too many good dogs in the world to keep a bad one around. So
Yeah, there you go, amen, brother.
yeah, there you go.
For hunting purposes, yeah. Not that
For
we're gonna off
hunting
them.
purposes, not
Well,
yeah.
they can make a good. They can make a good couch dog. You know what I mean? Okay, so you got them all trained up now. So let's go into the. Is that Colton that's sitting above that bear?
He
that
was
you
the
were saying
cameraman
earlier?
on the other one, and then this is the
What?
story about Colton.
Colton
Yeah,
that we're
Colton.
talking about was the shaddy
Yeah.
camera guy.
Yeah.
We got to. Where does he work? Is he UPS too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the UPS man.
Billy, you guys got to do some camera work here.
So
Go
yeah,
through
the
a
first video of
class.
Colton's the one that's videoing that, and then the one that you're
There's-
sharing, that's my brother sitting on top of the rock. The bear's right
Yeah.
below him.
And what's it doing?
So we had just caught the bear, basically stopped the bear out on our rock cropping,
Yeah.
and
The dogs had stopped,
yeah,
right?
yeah, the dogs had stopped it. We had caught it.
So the
and
dogs are all down on the bottom. Got him kind of holed
Yeah.
up there.
held up, and then my brother
Yeah.
came from the top of the cliff, more sense, and was looking down on top of it, and yeah, we
Just
snagged
for
it.
fun?
Yeah, just for fun, just to get a picture or whatever.
He's gonna
And,
pet it?
uh,
I mean, he's
You got to get close enough for proof, dude.
Yeah,
Close
you-
enough for proof.
Close enough for proof. Good gosh, you guys got to get a shirt. That's
So-
amazing. But
so
then
yeah.
Colton takes the dogs out. You weren't with him. We heard about it at work because he missed a few days. So let's kind of go through that.
So so this is a different time than that video that's
Right.
shared, but so Colton,
And I'll drop that in right here, guys.
so
We don't have this video.
No,
Kinda the same.
I'll drop in the video with the dude, with the guy. Is Colton the one standing above the bear?
That's my
Another
brother.
video.
Yeah.
That's your brother, Colton?
No, he's my buddy Colton. So he's the C.
Okay, so
on-
the video you gave me is your brother.
yeah,
That's your
yeah.
yeah. So okay, so the video I'm gonna send it right here. We'll drop it. Will be these guys are just running these dogs up and got this bear to haul up on this rock, and then his brother thinks it's cool to sit up above this thing. Dude, he should have got a slingshot and sling some shots at that thing, dude. He's close enough. But I'll drop that one in
Yeah.
right here. So keep going, Braxton.
So anyways, so Colton's story is they had caught a bear on the ground, kind of the same sense, but this time it was in this thick, I guess you would say like oak / just like tall, weedy green stuff. Like I'm not sure the plant or whatever, but it's
Brush?
like a big bush. Like yeah, brush, more sense.
Yeah.
We're
Anyways.
hunters, not whatever they're called that know what plants
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Well, the vegetation's really tall. Anyways, we caught this bear on the ground. The dogs were all circling around it, running around, and we couldn't see it. We're like, wow, what are they barking at? And Colton had jumped up on this log and looked down, and the bear was below him, like right at his feet. Looked down, the bear was standing there, and Colton turns around to jump away.
We've seen that
And-
before in his videoing.
And it, yeah, and he slipped, and it just like nipped him, more sense, like it nipped him, and Colton just took off running. He's like, it bit me.
Oh,
It
yeah.
bit
he was
him in
about- in his
Yeah.
mind, he was
Yeah.
about to get eaten. He's probably missing
Yeah.
a leg. He was probably running on a stub, dude. Until he stopped and looked down, and he still had his foot. He was probably about missing his foot the whole time. I'd freak out,
Yes.
dude. I don't care. So
Yes.
here's the thing. Like, I'm not a small person, right? And so, even like a mid, I would say even like, I don't even know, like even a mid-size, even a small, I think, bear, I'd say a black bear. Say, I don't know, is 200, 250 pounds? Is that a medium
Yeah,
size
about an
one? Or,
average.
So
Yeah, about
I
an
would
average.
not want to even fight with an average sized one. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty close to me in size. You know what I mean? Like 225 to the 250 mark. Dude, that thing. People when they're like, "Oh man, I don't know. I think I could probably hold my own with a bear." I'm like, no, you could not. Like, have you ever? I've been on like watched online like where two bears get after it. First of all, their adrenaline gland must be like 6 times bigger than a human's because it goes from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds, less than that. I mean, it is just fury. You know what I mean? And so I think they're intense, man. And so like I would never want to tussle with one. So like with Colton turning, and you feel that thing slightly graze your foot or bite you or whatever, nip you, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know if you call it nipping when it's a bear. I feel like the mouth of a bear is the size of your damn foot.
Yeah, it just.
So it's gonna put some hurt. Like even watching that video, you saying that thing comes out in a fury, and he's already been shot a couple times.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like it's like dude's on
He had,
bath
like,
salts.
puncture holes. Didn't he have like 3 puncture holes in his calf?
Yeah, so I think it like you could see the teeth mark, and then it was like I can't remember if it was 1 puncture mark or 2 puncture mark with the teeth, and then
He sent me a
you could
picture of this big old gash in his head, like the bear had tried to scalp him, and then come to find out it was from a stick when he fell down that it just cut him.
yeah,
in the head.
just cut him.
He's all, dude, I got attacked by a bear, and he sends a picture of his leg and then his head, and then it's like, oh my gosh, he got attacked by a bear. Oh no, just on the leg. My head
Yeah.
was I ran into a tree running away
Yeah, he
from the
was out of
bear.
work for like 2 weeks. He was out of
Was
work
it
for like 2 weeks.
And then does the story roll out? Was it a cub or was it real life?
No,
a
it
big
was
boy?
actually some. It was actually big. It really was.
Yeah.
We ended up getting him that next spring, but yeah, it nipped him and got him, and we packed him out of there and got him back to the bikes and headed out. And his mom wasn't too happy at the time,
No.
but
I'm
all
sure
is
not.
well. And
No,
yeah, there
Colton's
was
just a little guy. I mean, he's just a little guy too. Like if he
Yeah.
would, I mean, that bear could have really done some damage. I mean, he's just a little dude.
I don't.
but-
That's where my point being. It doesn't matter what size you are, big guy, little guy, dude. Bears they're serious. So the only other thing I wouldn't want to get, and we're gonna roll. Wait, are we good on this? You good with this story? Is that what the end of it?
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So
Story.
you sent
That's
me a
all we know.
picture of a lion. Is that you holding that thing?
Yeah.
That big old cat? Okay.
Yep.
That's the other one I wouldn't want to fight. I wouldn't want to come across accidentally. That's my first one. I think
Yeah.
first I would rather come across the bear, I feel like. I don't know. What you tell me. You're the adamant hunter guy. Would I rather come across so I feel like a lion that I mean look at them little like what house cats do and stuff like a lion the same way. A mountain lion is what we're talking about for everybody listening. Not like a lion
I
with
would
like
think-
the big poofy mane. We're talking about mountain lions or what else they call them, cougars.
Yeah.
Cougars.
Cougars.
And I would
So-
think a mountain lion when you got the fight or flight. I don't think the mountain lion has a fight or a flight in their brain. It's like, a bear, fight or flight, they'll take off and run away. To where I feel like a cougar would just be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go
So
for
that's
it.
so, yeah, and then I don't want to fight a mountain lion because I feel like a bear is going to try to bite me and hit me with his front paws, and his back ones are just stationary. But like a mountain lion, dude, I feel like it's gonna try to bite me, and then it's gonna grab me with its claws in the front claws, and then it's gonna try to rip me open with its back claws. So I just got a lot going on with a cat, and I don't know, dude. You tell me.
Dude, bears and the thing is though in Utah there's not grizzly bears, so they're not like what you see on videos and stuff. Like bears and like cougars, I guess in a sense, they're just as scared of you as you are them. Like
Like
I
both
mean,
of them,
yeah.
bears and cougars.
yeah, like there's
Okay.
a sense that like a younger like mountain lion in a sense is going to be kind of curious and like kind of see what you're doing. Like you hear some bow hunters saying, "Oh, I had a cougar incident where a cougar was walking up the trail or following me out." More sense, but like, I don't know if I've ever heard a story besides, like, unless you watch YouTube, of mountain lions actually, like, charging people.
Yeah, well, like that guy, that dude that's all, oh, look at that cute little kitty, and he's all right up on a little baby mountain lion, and then the mom is like, what? It's all
Right. I can. Yeah.
running at him, and it's all hissing and stuff. And I'm like, dude, of course, like that's gonna happen. It happens with cows, like a normal meat cow. You know, you get
Every time we
between, you get
deliver 'em,
between
we
a
have
cow and a
dog.
calf. You get between a cow and
Yeah.
a calf, and that cow will stomp you to the ground. Like,
Yeah.
what
Of
do you
course,
think?
the
What do you
mothers-
think a mountain lion's gonna do? Motherly instinct, bro.
Yeah, mothers
Exactly.
are obviously the more aggressive ones.
Yeah.
If something was ever going to kick off, but
So
I don't
how did you
know.
get that
I've
mountain
never-
lion that we got
So
in
you
that
think
picture?
you just gotta be scary? Is that really gonna work? Like
Yeah.
get big and wave your hands and be like, "Wow," scare them off.
Yeah. They see you coming way before you ever see them, you know? So
So
I've
you
never,
don't
like,
think-
personally,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
never personally, I've never been, like, hunting and actually had something, like, had an instance of seeing, like, I've only had a couple times where I've been driving in my pickup and seen a lion run across the road, and I'm always in the hills and never had a lion, like, never even seen a lion, and until, like, we have the hounds and find a track and actually, like, chase them down more sense to catch them. But, like, I've never had them, like, come at me.
Staying away from you.
Yeah, just
So you don't
sneaky
think
and-
you don't think my idea with a bear, where if I just crapped myself and laid there, like he wouldn't want to mess with me because I'd be all stinky and gross? Is that a bad idea or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I better not do that. I mean, it might be involuntary, but I'm just saying. I thought maybe if I just shat myself and just like laid there crying and pooped, maybe he'd be like, "Oh, golly, that one's gross. Something's wrong with that one." You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Depends
good. At
on
least
what you
I
ate that night, I guess.
yeah, at least I got some dignity. I don't have to crap myself now. I'll just be laying there. My buddies will come up. My buddies will come up and I'll be like hiking by myself. My buddies will come like, dude, what are you doing? I'll have poop all over my pants. So I just
I saw
smear it
a bear.
around. They're like, dude, no, you did not. Liar. All right. Well, I'll take that off my my survival list. Don't crap yourself when a bear comes.
Yeah, and those guys that buy bear spray, they're like anti-gun people, but they go buy bear spray. It's like, holy cow. Like, if
No, I
someone
g-
actually did, like the grizzly, like, started to come running at you, it's like, what are you going to do? Spray him with that
there.
bear spray?
Stop.
Like,
Yeah.
holy cow. Yeah, literally. I'm like,
okay, so
no,
I
I'm
do
just going to
have-
be shooting.
I got one for you, and you may know him or not. So, he does Wild Fish, Wild Places. Have you ever watched that show? It's on Amazon and stuff. Dennis is
I
his
haven't.
name, is Bister. So, he goes and travels all over the world, right, and does fishing. So they're in. I hate to be wrong on it, but we'll just say where it's at. I don't know. I don't think it may be somewhere different than Alaska, but there's grizzly bears there, brown bears or whatever. These things are massive, right? And so they're on like this. They get flown in on the little, the little puddle jumper planes. So these dudes get flown in and like dropped off, and they do like they video it. It's all video, and they got camera guys and all that stuff. It's like a production, but there's bears, right? And so, but they're not able to have, in some of the places that they're going, they can't have guns. You know what I mean? Like in the different countries or whatever that they go to. So I don't know
Isn't
if he
that
was
called
in
Alone? Are you talking about it Alone? Or is it
Alone?
kind of in the sense, yeah, Alone? Like the TV show Alone?
No.
They're out in the woods
no,
by themselves?
it's called Wild Fish, Wild Places.
Okay.
No, they just go in and video themselves fishing and just ripping lips, like, and then they put it on this show, and it's called Wild Fish, Wild Places. You have to check it out.
Okay.
So, shout out,
Wild Fish, Wild Places. Here
Wild
we go.
Fish, Wild Places, and dude, these dudes, a big old bear like a Kodiak or whatever is coming at them, and that's what they had was bear spray, and so they're like,
So they're fishing in the creek, like with their
Yeah.
waders on, and they're
oh
just
yeah,
fishing.
they're
And
just, and the camera dudes are
Grizzly bear.
videoing and all this stuff, and his thing is like it's staying over there. They've been around them before, but then this one for whatever reason, I don't know, had toothache or something, was just ornery, and so it comes rolling up on them, and they're like trying to get it away, and it won't. So they rip out the big old can of bear spray. And dude, he says they turn and this thing charges at them, and they turn and they're like gonna spray it, and the wind swirls like changes direction and just ass pounds them in the face with their spray. Dude, they're all oh god. And dude, the bear didn't attack him. I don't even think he got the bear. He probably was just like, what the hell's wrong? These people got the plague. Because they're all coughing and yakking and puking, and then this bear's like, "Oh, you guys are idiots," and runs off, dude. Like, oh
So
man, he's got
big and getting loud. They got loud.
yeah, he's got pictures and stuff of it. He's told me about it, dude, and I'm laughing so hard. I'm gonna get him on here, and I'll have him talk about it. He'll be able to give us the details. But you were talking about bear spray, and it made me think of that one, dude. Imagine you're just like, I got it. And it just, here's this mist, and it just comes right back into your face. Oh, yeah. So bear spray, just don't even do it, huh?
I don't know. I just get a crack at, like, why would you want bear spray and not a gun? You know, like.
Yeah, I guess if you have
you.
a gun, there's no reason to have bear
At least
spray.
to have a chance, you know.
Yeah,
I guess
piss it
I
off.
don't
So
know.
is it true? I think I don't know if I watched something or read something that their skull, like right above the, like in their forehead area or whatever, is super thick. Like it'll stop a bullet. So you want to shoot them in the body or what?
Yeah, I don't really know that, like, the anatomy on them, but yeah.
Where did you
we
shoot
just
that bear
shoot him behind
behind
the
you?
shoulder. So this one was I shot this one actually on the last day. It was in 16. Over bait. This is before we had, like, this was like the beginning of hounds, our hound journey, I guess. Well, actually we had hounds, but we didn't have any bear dogs at the time, and I was just baiting. It was a summer bait hunt in June, and I baited this bear in with my brothers, and I helped me I guess pack in bait, and
So what do you use
we
for
just
bait?
so you just
Like
use
zingers and stuff, or hot dogs, or what?
literally exactly zingers.
Throw some zingers. Dude, you might be careful. You might get Vinny.
Hess,
You're baiting
dude,
his
he's gonna
Vinny,
be on there
dude.
just eating them,
Can I go with that?
just zinging them down.
Good.
You'd be like, oh, wait, I hear something. We got one. He's over there. Just smashing on a zinger.
Exactly.
That's
So yeah, we
terrible.
just use like old expired bakeries and dog food and grease, and then you just bait them in, and then
You mean like donuts?
yeah, so donuts and oh man, they love that stuff. Anything sugar in the springtime, they love. So they come, they come in, and then I had my tag in. I had a few bears hit, and so we were baiting it every couple days, just waiting for the right one to come in, and I ended up hitting one, the one that I wanted. I ended up hitting him, and I couldn't ever find him. And when I got towards the end of the hunt, this boar that I had behind me ended up coming in, and ended up taking him. But yeah,
So where
it
did you
was
hit him at, though, is what I'm saying. Like,
right behind the shoulder. So the first one that I hit that I couldn't find, I hit him a little bit far back because I was so dang nervous, and I shot him like a little far back, and we looked for days and could never find him, and then I just basically gave up and just sat the bait again. I had the other bears were hitting, and this one came in, but yeah, like while I was hunting, this bear that I got behind me, a little bear would always be coming in, and we were sitting in the tent. My tent, like my blind, I guess, was like 50 yards away, and you could spray that anisoil in the air, and it's just like smells like black licorice. And my brother sprayed some right by the blind before we got in. I'm like, dude, like, are you crazy? Anyways, like, so we get in the blind, and this bear comes, literally the little bear comes walking in, walks down the trail where our blind is, and we're watching him come. Like, God, I grab my gun. I'm like, God, I hope this sucker doesn't come in our tent here. Like, where my brother sprayed that anisoil in there. I'm like, God, comes walking down the trail, and it gets closer and closer. I grab my gun. I'm like, God, please don't come any closer. And the bear actually put his nose on the screen of the tent, and my gun barrel and the tent was like that close. My brother just hit me. He's sitting behind me in the tent, just hit me. He's like, shoot it, shoot. I'm like, dude, I can't shoot this. This is like a cub. I'm like,
So
I'm like,
for
I feel
the
bad.
listeners, if you're not watching, go on YouTube and watch. But if you're listening, he's like got the barrel of the gun of this thing like 3 inches from the face of this
face
bear.
of it, literally. And I'm like, oh. And I'm glad because my brother was like hit me so hard, and he's like rocking my chair. And finally, the bear like heard me and like kind of cocked its head and then just took off.
You think you
like,
could take
oh,
that
thank
one out?
goodness.
Would you be able to beat that one up?
No way.
Dang it, dude.
No
Where are we get? How big was this thing? If it's a cub,
Oh, 100 pounds, maybe 120 pounds. Dude, their freaking claws are huge, and they're
Man.
fast as hell, too.
I'm really
So-
my whole outlook on this is really starting to drop because I thought for sure I'd be able to take a cub.
I mean, you better get the first punch in, I guess.
What if I
and-
get like a behind
Clock
it, like a
and go.
rear naked choke or something, try to choke the thing out,
Yeah, do it.
get on its
Yeah.
back?
Yeah,
You could do it. You're big enough. You could do a cub at 100 pounds. I'm pretty sure you can
I
get
think
behind
I
that.
could.
thing.
I feel like I should be able to. Maybe we could try it out. I don't know. I'll get some
Yeah, that'd be
Kevlar.
crazy.
Get some Kevlar sleeves. I got some Kevlar sleeves and stuff. Maybe we try wrestling a bear, dude. Put that on YouTube. Put that on here. See, I'll bet we would be at the popping with that.
yeah.
I
you
don't know,
better-
man. I think I could take a 100-pounder.
I don't want to wrestle a bear. Why would you want to wrestle a bear?
Why not? Say you did.
Yeah. Joe Rogan out there wrestling bears. Jeez.
That's it. That's it. Oh man, that'd be insane, dude.
Yeah, Braxton, you got some good stories, man.
Yeah, they're
You got
good,
some
man. Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. This is a good time. We we loved having you on here, and good luck. I mean, hopefully you decide, even if after this, if this is something you'd like to do, you get your podcast going, dude. That'll be sick too. We'll jump on there with you on yours and bang it up that way or whatever have you. But and we'll probably try to get you on here again. I feel like we barely just tapped the surface on some of this stuff. But I'll post the one is the lion. Yeah, that's you holding that lion.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
we
stick
don't
that
even
on
have the
here.
story on the lion.
And I'll put that on here so you can see that lion pic, and kind of see what we're talking about. So for the listeners, you'll have to jump on YouTube and see because we'll have these videos and pictures up there. But yeah, Braxton, man, we appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks for everybody for listening, and we'll pump it out there, and we'll kind of let everybody know with your stuff. Just make sure you send Vinny the info on your hound stuff if you want us to put that in the subscription. But
Yes.
yeah, man, it was a
And-
good time. Go ahead.
So yeah, the Instagram page is MNC Hounds @C Hounds, and then my pedestal business is Full Curl Wood Creations, and then my normal is Braxton Maxwell 24 is my Instagram page,
Nice.
I
There you
guess.
go.
So,
And I'll
Matt,
put
we'll
those.
that.
Yeah, I'll put those in the subscription and the notes on here, so it'll be on YouTube both, and then all the podcasts, all the different entities it goes out to. But dude, it was a riot, man. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks,
was
Brax,
great.
for
Thank
coming and spending an hour with us of your day. But yeah, so we'll sign off, and that was rad, and we'll hit you guys up we'll get you on the next one.
okay,
Thanks,
thanks
man.
guys.
All right, guys. Peace.